All right, good Sunday morning. We are gonna head over to an estate sale this morning. It's the third day, I think, might be the second day actually, of the sale, and it's just down the road from me. I spent all day Saturday taking pictures. I'm trying some new SOPs for my business just to help streamline and ensure that I'm listing every day and I'm getting in the amount of inventory that I need to bulk up for fourth quarter. So when you have two small children and their schedules are kind of sporadic and you're picking them up in the middle of the day for school, you know, you're whittling your time down that you have to focus. And when you include YouTube and editing videos and shipping, it can kind of get a little bit hairy. So I'm trying something new. So I took a lot of time yesterday to just take photos so that every morning I can get up and just do my listing daily that way. So we're gonna try that, see how it goes. But I'm always trying to become, I won't say more efficient, but I'm trying to find the thing that works the best for me that I can replicate on a daily basis. That doesn't mean that I can't be flexible, because I think being flexible is almost as important as getting your routine in. Because if you're not flexible with two small children, things can go awry and then you end up just not doing it. And so we can't have that. Anyway, so today we're gonna head over to an estate sale and see what they have. It looks kind of like a mid-century rancher, and it looked stocked full of stuff on Friday, so I'm hoping this is the last day of the sale, that there's still some really good stuff left for us. And yeah, I'm gonna take you guys along with me. Stay tuned to the end of the video because I'm gonna do some what has sold recently in the stores. Anyway, stay tuned to the end of the video for that. But otherwise, come estate sailing with me. Okay, so we are Sunday morning estate sailing. I found this sale and it looks loaded. Let's see what this sign says. Half price Sunday. We like that. All right, buggies.
Everything's half off or better.
Okay.
Except for the furs.
Except for the furs, all right.
Basement.
Okay.
But you gotta go around the front yard to get to there.
Get to the basement. All right, thank you. This is not holding, this is all for sale, right? This Claiborne, $250. Oh, it's missing its guys. Look at this. Oldie but a goodie. Oh, George W. Okay. Get my roller measure by Runco. That's old, isn't it? I don't know that these are books. I think these might be photo albums. Let's see if I can get one out and see. Yeah. Okay. It's kind of cool. Looks modern though. Anything in these lighters? These little luminaries are $1. Interesting. Oh, Buttmaster. I wonder if these sell for anything. You guys remember Buttmaster? I remember Thighmaster. I guess Buttmaster was a version of that. Okay. What do we have over here? Just wood planks to put stuff on? Wonder if somebody would want that. There's an old scale. Harmony House. I have sold old scales before, and sometimes they can bring good money. This one's not in great shape, but I have sold it before. That's kind of cool. So all these for $1 a piece. I don't know if these could be sold. Someone might want them to do like decoupage like that on. Pyrex crumb catcher. These are original or prints? I think they're prints. And I'm not sure. Does that say $100 for this whole set? This would be $50. Baseboard diffuser. Oh, look at him. Now, I will say, stuff like this, really hard to ship. But I have tried to do it before. I had a huge bass that was mounted, and I ended up selling it locally. That's interesting. For $3, let's see, $19.99. Hang in there, baby. Wish there was more than one of these. Silver-plated trinket box. Made in Hong Kong. $1.50. Alright, got some spark plugs. Empty box. Sometimes old stuff like that, like new old stock, can do well. It's hard to tell unless you have a way to test like spark plugs. So I tend to not pick that stuff up. Okay, let's go inside and see what we can find. Something nice, 2 dozen white candles. Let's see if we can get in there. Home interiors. Wonder if these have everything in them. I have to run some comps on these. Echo-ware. Here's a visionware. Let's see if it's got any chips on it. It's the 2.5 liter. Inside needs to be cleaned. This is cool. It's got some bugs in it, but old school. Wherever Cerama. These are kind of cool looking. Heavy duty aluminum. Smell there. Spalding ware. this set for 10. All right, I'm gonna have to comp the Spalding wear. I think these look really nice. If they're in good condition. Let's see if I can find any waistband.
I didn't even see it.
10 for the set, so I'll make it 5. Definitely gonna grab these. Let's see. 3 of these. I don't see any marking on this one.
No. She had stairs going down. Yeah, pretty much.
9/11. These are all signed. I have just recently sold the painting on velvet this week, but nothing about those really speaks to me. I like those frames. It's a painting for $25. It's a photo of the London Bridge. It's a cool table. Really mid-century. $15, $12.50. Let's see what's in this front room. It's kind of cool. For $5, there's a matching pair. I wonder if somebody would want those. They seem a little modern. His little tuss or his, what do you call him? He's broken. Can't think this morning. These aren't signed on the bottom, but do have a cool look. Oh, that's interesting. Really thick. Wonder if somebody would want this. Let's see if there's any markings on the bottom. Look at that. It's a cool dining room. It does have some damage on it. I can check this out. Kensington. Just finished listing and photographing a bunch of the frames that I've gotten over the last couple weeks. So I'm a little framed out right now. heavy.
Did you get to come with Mama to shop? Hey there. There's some dog.
Pheasant. Now that's interesting. Heavy on the art right now. So, mirrors. Wall of mirrors. Oh, it's a street light in here. Do not turn on. Problem. Wonder if they want what they want for that. I like that. Okay. Wow. Was not expecting this. Otters, bobcats, raccoons, just piles and piles of raccoon furs, beavers, rabbits, and tails. Huh. Wow. Coyotes. Sort of freaked out. More ways than one, I think. Okay, I'm gonna try to make my way down to the garage. She's pretty. The house itself is really, actually quite lovely. Holding table. And these look modern too. Christmas. Lacquer box. Really big frames. Some damage there on the bottom. All fabric, $5. Pool table. It's a really old pool table. It'd be $100 with 50% off. Another baseboard diffuser. Got some rust on it. I wonder what those sell for. Wow. That's huge. Really big. Here's some. All hats, $3 each. Topoco Lunker Lodge. Alcoa Power. Butch Harvey's Concrete Finishers. Bush and Quail. Definitely grabbing those. Charles Powell, excuse me. I'm gonna pick this up for my brother-in-law. He's a sheriff's officer, that's funny. Brong is still our sheriff. But he's been doing it a long time. That's made clear by that hat. $5 for this. What do you think about that? Is it interesting enough for $5? Records are $2 each. I'm gonna check these out, make sure they're still in good shape. Okay, it's The lighting is not great, but I did end up grabbing this American flag scarf for $1. And then I'm gonna pick these two up. They're both from 1976. This one is a General Electric calendar. And this one I just thought was interesting. It's a Electric Coil Company, 1976. Kind of has that retro look to it. I don't know what I could sell them for. Probably, you know, $10 each. And then I'm gonna grab all of these hats. Go keep looking, see what else we can find. These are kind of interesting. I don't know how old they are though. Little angel ornaments. And I don't know what they want for them. I don't know if that's $10 for this whole lot or that's $10 for the plate underneath. Pricing's a little... Look at these old things. Merry Christmas as a key that's styrofoam. But you know, some weird old stuff, like old Christmas stuff, can sell that just blows my mind. So you never know. That's 25. So it would be $12.50. Oh, that's interesting. Weird ports of call. Be $5. Oh, what do we have here? $2. Those are kind of cute though, even though they're modern. Tinsel garland. This is definitely old. I might pick that up. I don't know what tinsel garland goes for right now, so I'm gonna have to see what the going rate is, see if it's worth it. Look at that little guy, he's kind of cute. All right, let me check. Okay, so I'm gonna grab all of these. This brand can sell for good, and I'll probably just lot this whole thing up and sell it that way. This one's open box. Oh, made in Italy. I might grab that one too. Okay, so I'm seeing this. It's got, I don't think it's damage, I just think it's inconsistency in the glaze, but it is Rubens Originals, Los Angeles, $2.50. And I ran some comps on it. I can probably get about 15 out of it. So I might pick this up too. No. Okay, so we've got some vintage wrapping paper. Papercraft. Let's see what year. Let's say.
How much you sold it for, or who bought it, or what?
These are cool. $2.50. Wiseman. Let's see, what's that say? Kyoto 92. Oh yeah, those are cool. Okay.
If you do want to make a pile, I'll watch all the piles. We'll have a whole day to use all day.
I'll comp some of this foil paper, see what it might sell for. I'm definitely grabbing those guys. All right, he's grabbing my change, but this is what we got, and then we bought the rick of firewood downstairs under the carport for $10. So it's a pretty good little pickup, I'd say. Okay, so thank you guys for going with me to that estate sale. We did find some pretty good items, and I've actually already listed those items. I brought them into the house, de-tagged them, cleaned them, and then went ahead and tried something new. I picked up a camera a while ago, one of the Sony little, gosh, I can't even remember, Power Shots or something like that. Anyway, so I was testing it to see if it worked to list it. And then I was like, I actually kind of like this. I'm gonna see how it goes. So I have listed for the most part over the course of the last 3 years on my phone. I do like to list from my phone because it gives me the flexibility to wherever I'm at, whether it's at the park with the kids, getting my day ready at 5 a.m. I like to be able to have the photos ready and to be able to go ahead and list. In the past, I have daily taken photos, given myself some photos on the phone so that the next day I have items to list. I'm in between what actually works, and I have taken in some other YouTuber and eBay reseller suggestions on what they do and how they make that work. Most people enjoy listing from a desktop or a laptop, and I have never tried that because I like the flexibility of being able to have it on my phone and being able to do Google Lens from my phone, find similar solds from my phone. It just makes it a little bit easier. I will say that when I brought the items in, I just went ahead, cleaned them up, took the camera, took the photos, and then I was able to plug it into my laptop and just drop all those photos. And from a regular listing standpoint of how long it takes to do one item, I was at a little bit under 4 minutes. And that's actually pretty good for me because I think on my phone, I'm a little bit more towards like the 5-minute mark. So it saved me some time. I'm always up to hone in on my skills and figure out how I can become more effective. I won't say I'm the most efficient reseller, but I am effective. So in that regard, I want to be able to do something that I can replicate. So that just gives me a little bit more flexibility. I'm not saying I'm going to do it like that every single time, but it is nice. Like if the phone is dead and I need to recharge it, which happens a lot actually, then it gives me the flexibility to be able to take photos while that stuff is charging, and it doesn't prevent me from being able to list. And I will say from a reseller standpoint, the most important job that you have is listing. Not sourcing, not talking about sourcing, not talking about listing. It's just taking the photos and getting the listings. And that is one of the hardest disciplines of reselling. Shipping is hard, but you do it naturally because you have to get it to the customer. So there's all these checks and balances that prevent you from delaying shipping because you don't want to get a negative review. You don't want to go past the allotted amount of time to ship. So that kind of takes care of itself and you tend to figure it out. But to become a successful full-time reseller, I have had to really, really discipline myself with the listing every single day. It is the first thing that you will make excuses to go. And so that's why I like to have photos already on my phone loaded. So in the morning, I wake up really early so that I have time to get my day started before the kids get up, which can tend to be between 6 and 6:30. So I get up earlier than that, in enough time so that I can drink my coffee, not feel rushed, and also so that I can sit there wherever I am, being able to take those photos and list them, which is it doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but trust me when I say it is the most big deal to make time for that. So I just kind of wanted to share a little bit of that with you guys. I try to kind of fit that in whenever I can because there are going to be people who are watching this that don't resell and they just want to see me go and pick stuff, which I totally understand, and there's a joy in that too. But I think there's a lot of people who are interested in maybe dipping their toe into reselling and trying to figure out what it's gonna take. And it is hard. It is not easy, but everything that you do when you are employed for yourself, a small business owner, whether you're working from home, reselling, whatever it is, it takes the exact same muscles, and those muscles have to be worked out, and you have to just be disciplined to do it. And the hardest part is getting it off the ground because you're not seeing the fruits yet. And so you can tend to want to give up or not list regularly. Okay, so enough of that talk, but I did want to give you a little bit of a peek inside what I'm doing, and I am changing things because the seasons of my life are changing. Nolan has gone to pre-K for 5 days a week. Lillian is now in pre-K 3 days a week. So my days are kind of coming back to being my own a little bit, at least smaller portions. At least out of the house for a few hours changes things a bit. Trying to expand and adjust, and I never want to stay stagnant. I always want to try to grow and figure out better and easier ways, and that's going to be different for everyone. I don't want you to feel like you have to do it this way. It's based on what you want out of it. There's a lot of people who are only going to do this as a side hustle. They're only going to do this part-time. You don't have to be as concerned about things as I do, but I'm trying to, and have been since last summer, so we're going on a little over a year where I started doing this full-time, and I'm still scaling the stores. So it is a process, and I had to kind of take my foot off the gas a little bit once the kids came home, and I had to be easier on myself with that because I ended up being a little bit more tormented than I wanted to be. And so sometimes you just have to accept that your growth scale is going to be up and to the right, but a little bit less up than you want. And that's just part of it. And I've had to learn to accept that. I'm not saying it was something that I did initially, but I tend to be, as we all do, hard on ourselves when we can't do all things for all people and do it really, really well. So now we're into a new season, and I'm seeing a little bit more freedom to be able to push my foot on the gas a little bit more. So I'm trying that, but it is a process, and you have to be patient, and it is a learning process, which takes longer for me than for a lot of people. So anyway, next thing, you guys have been seeing some like click here, sign up for my new weekly newsletter. And I have yet to talk about that because I was just kind of trying to figure out exactly what that was gonna look like. It's definitely something that I'm gonna be doing here in the near future. And if you're interested, you can click here and sign up. It's just a weekly email. It's probably gonna come to your inbox on Tuesdays or Fridays. And it's just gonna be a simple 1-page, very clear, concise, 3 points, which is just like quote of the week that's getting me through the week, any new trends or things that I want to say to you guys, really just a little paragraph. And then under that, things that have either sold recently or things that are finally live in the store. If you've been looking for those items, then you'll be able to see, oh, she finally has that listed. Oh, there's that mirror I was wanting. Cool, she sold that chandelier. That's awesome. So it's not going to be really heavy on text. It's not going to be really long. It's just going to be something really simple that if you want to keep up with me and my store outside of YouTube and see more of the ins and outs of eBay and Etsy and what's going on as a reseller, you can sign up for my weekly newsletter here, and I will let you know in future videos when the rollout of that is going to happen. Probably going to happen in the next 30 to 60 days, I would say, but I'm just trying to get it into my weekly procedures, and I'm still trying to figure out what exactly that looks like. But I am excited, and it's geared more towards people who just really like the style, the way that I do things, and are just more interested in like my eye and hearing a little bit more that's less just me out picking at estate sales and thrift stores, and a little bit more business personality oriented. So if that sounds like something that you would be interested in, click on this link, go sign up, and you will be seeing a weekly newsletter from me very soon. Okay, so what has sold recently? We've had some pretty good sales, and I wanted to highlight a few of those, especially since they were items that I picked up on recent videos, and show you what they sold for. This VCR. Lee picked it up one night. It was for my birthday date night, and we ended up at a thrift store, and we picked it up. I think it was $12 or $15, and it sold this week for $395. So Lee gets credit for that, and I think he even said that in the video, like, somebody needs to give me credit for this. So thank you, Lee. That was a really good sale. Next up, this cool piece of ugly face pottery. You guys saw me pick that up on camera as well, and actually it's going out to a viewer who sent me a lovely little message that said, I love seeing you pick this up, and I'm so glad it's finally here, so I'm buying it. And I took it for a best offer from her for $18. I think I bought it for $4, so a nice little flip. Next up is this weird brutalist kind of interesting menorah candelabra centerpiece. I wasn't 100% sure what to make of this, so I ended up listing it a little bit high just to see what interest I would get in it, and I got a best offer for $50. I felt like that was pretty fair for what I paid for it, and so I went ahead and took that best offer, and it is going out this week. Swizzle sticks. I listed these in the store a couple months ago, and these two are beach themed, a fish and a parrot, and they sold for $15. I think I picked them up in a bag of swizzle sticks for $1 at a yard sale on a video recently. This little sun chime, I want to call it, beveled glass, really beautiful, with a dogwood petal in the middle, or a dogwood bloom in the middle. This one was in the store for a really long time. I want to say it was one of the very first items that I cross-posted on eBay from Etsy, so over 2 years. But it sold this week for $35. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful little chime piece. I love it. I'm so glad that somebody finally bought it, because every time I would pass it on the shelf, I'd be like, why hasn't anybody bought that? I love that thing. Yeah, so that was a pretty good sale for 35 bucks. These Lennox plates I picked up at a thrift store. I wanna say I paid maybe $2 or $3 a piece for them, set of 3, and they sold this week for $30. This little brass cat trivet, which if you ever come across little kitschy cat stuff always sells. It sells really well, always has sold for me. So this cute little trivet I picked up, I think for $1 or $2 at a yard sale, and it sold this week for $10. Etsy sale this week. These knitted, crocheted placemats, set of 6, again, really long time to sell, like really long tail. It took almost 2 years for these to sell, but they did sell this week and they sold for $65. This McCall's Cooking School binder, again, something that took a long time to sell, been in the store, both stores for a really long time, sold over on Etsy this week for $22, so that was a pretty good sale. Again, cookbooks, even if they take a long time to sell, they do sell. That wraps it up for us today. Thank you guys so much for listening and for subscribing and for tuning in and signing up for my newsletter. So many of you have already signed up, and I really appreciate that because I've never even said anything on camera. If you are interested in getting a weekly newsletter from me, I will be sending it out soon. I'm just not exactly sure when. You'll probably get another update from me before then, just letting you know, hey, my newsletter's finally live. I hope you guys have a really great week. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you again next time.